Hi, in the previous session we have introduced Laplace transforms and we have discussed some of its properties, and also we have also found a table of Laplace transforms. Okay, so in this lecture and the next lecture we have designed as a problem session, so where we will be using the methods which we have already studied in solving the problems, or where we will be finding the transforms of many functions. Okay, so this is actually a tutorial session, so you will have to work with me here. So basically I will only be giving you some hints and I will do some problems, but most of the problems you will be doing it by yourself. So I hope, strongly suggest you use a pen and paper. Okay, so this is a problem session, so mostly the problems will be done by yourselves, but I'll also be giving you ample hints so that you can use it yourself. Okay, so before we start the session, do make it sure that you have watched the previous session, and also you have the table, Laplace transform table at hand, because we will be using that table extensively. Okay, so this is the transform table. So the most common functions which we'll be using is the transform of constants is 1 by s, the transform of t is 1 by s square, t raised to transform of t raised to n is 1 by, as you know, it is 1 by n factorial by s raised to n plus 1. So if it is t, you will have 1 factorial by s square. If it is t square, you will have 2 factorial by s cube, etc., etc. So these two things are very important. Okay, then you have e raised to at. The transform of e raised to at is 1 by s minus a, and I hope you know the transform of e raised to minus at, so it will be 1 by s plus a. Similarly, when it is cos a, cos omega t or cos h t, always s will come on top, so it is s by s square plus omega square in this case, and s by s square minus a square in this case. And when it is sine, always this constant will come on top, so when it is sine omega t, you will have omega by s square plus omega square and a by s square minus a square. And similarly, we have studied shifting theorem, so whenever you multiply something by e raised to at, you know that s will be replaced by s minus a. Okay, so all these concepts and all these tables we have discussed in the previous session, so you should be clear with these concepts, and also you should have this table at this hand, your hand, before we do with problems. Okay, I hope this table is there in your hand. Okay, so now before we proceed further, let us also discuss some important properties which you have discussed earlier. Okay, one property was the linearity property. Okay, so what was linearity property? So if you need to find the Laplace transform of some f plus g, what you have to do? Just find Laplace transform of f plus Laplace transform of g. Okay, so suppose we need to find the Laplace transform of e raised to at plus maybe cos pt. What you have to do? First you find the transform of this, that is actually simply 1 by s minus a plus transform of cos bt is s by s square minus s square plus b square. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Okay, so that is the way. And one more property is that suppose you need to find transform of L of some constant into f. So what is it? It's simply c into L of f. I hope that is clear. Okay, so for suppose you need to find the transform of 2 e raised to at. So what is the transform of that? It will be 2 into L of 2 e raised to at. So it will be 2 into L of e raised to at. That is nothing but 2 by s minus a. Or suppose you need to find the transform of 2 cos 5t. So what will you do? So it will be simply 2 into s by s square plus 25. So that is the, so similarly if we need to find the transform of 5. So what is 5? Transform of 5, it is simply 5 into 1. So transform of 1 is actually 1 by s, so it is simply 5 by s. So transform of 5 is, it is 5 by s. Okay, so that is the linearity property which we will be using extensively. Okay, so also remember the table, remember the linearity property, and one more property we have studied, that is shifting theorem. So suppose you have something like e raised to at into some other function. Okay, suppose you have e raised to at into f of t. The transform of that will be simply f of s minus a, where L of f of t was simply f of s. Okay, for example, if you have to find transform of e raised to maybe e raised to 2t into cos 5t, how will you find it out? First you find transform of cos 5t. What is transform of cos 5t? It is simply s by s square plus 5 square. Okay, so what is the transform of e raised to t? In this one, you will replace s by s minus 2. Okay, so it will be simply s minus 2 by s minus 2 the whole square plus 5 square. Okay, so you can simplify it later. So this is how you use the shifting property. So these two properties will be extensively used in our problem. So these two properties are important, plus the table. So this is our toolbox. So now let us try to do some problems. Okay, so before that, I'll do one problem in which we'll have to apply the definition directly. So remember the definition of Laplace transform. What was it? It is simply L of f of t is, always from the definition, it is simply 0 to infinity e raised to minus st into f of t dt. Okay, so that is, so in some problems you may need to use the definition, because in those problems the functions may not be standard one. For example, this problem. Okay, so you can see that this is not our standard constant function, it is a piecewise defined function, so we have to do it differently. So there are also other methods by which you can do this, so that we'll study later when we introduce what you say impulse function, Heaviside function, etc. But now let us focus on this problem now. Okay, so suppose you need to find the transform of this, you cannot use the table because the table is defined for functions which are from 0 to infinity. So at best you have a constant function in the table is it was 1, it was defined for 0 to infinity. So the value of 1 cannot be applied here because here the function is being defined piecewise here. Okay, so you cannot use the table directly. So what I will do is that I'll apply the definition here. Okay, so how will you apply the definition? It's very simple thing, you know the formula. What is it? Your L of f of t is simply integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus st into f of t dt. So I'll apply this one here. So it is from, I can split it to 0 to 3, 0 into e raised to minus st dt because the function is 0 in that interval, plus from 3 to infinity you will have 4 into e raised to minus st dt. Okay, now this one is 0. This is simple integration. I hope we can do it. What is it? Simply it will be 4 into e raised to minus st by minus s in the limits 3 to infinity. So when it is infinity it will become 0, and when it is 3 it will be what will it? It will be simply 4 e raised to minus 3s by minus s. So negative because it's a lower limit. So the answer is 4 e raised to minus 3s by s. So I hope that is the answer. Oh, that is the answer. Okay, so it is done by direct integration. Okay, so that was one simple problem in which you have to apply the definition directly. Now let us move on to problems where you will have to use the table. Okay, so mostly I will be giving hints. You have to do it by yourself. Let us try to do it. Okay, so let us first do this problem. Find the Laplace transform of 3t plus 12. So here is the problem. You have to find the transform of 3t plus 12. So how will you use it? Look at the table. So this is basically linear function. So in order to find of this, you can use linearity property. You can find L of 3t plus L of 12, right? Okay, so how will you find L of 3t? Again you can find, apply linearity properties. It will be simply 3 into L of t because 3 is a constant, plus again this 12 can be written as 12 into 1, so I can write it as 12 into L of 1. So I'm just applying the linearity property. There is no need to write it so elaborately in exams. You can directly say the answer, but since it's the first problem, that's why I'm discussing it so elaborately. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Now can you tell me transform this? So look at the table. What's the transform of t? T is simply 1 by s square. You know that the transform of t raised to n is n factorial by s raised to n plus 1. So t will be 1 factorial by s square. So 3 into 1 by s square plus 12 into transform of 1 is 1 by s. So this is the answer. So it is simply 3 by s square plus 12 by s. No need to take the LCM or anything. Just you can keep it like this. Okay, I hope it is clear. Okay, so let us move on to the next problem. Transform of cos pi. Find transform of cos pi by t. Cos pi t. So what's the transform of cos pi t? It is L of cos pi t. What is it? It's simply s by s square plus pi square. I hope it is clear. Okay, because look at the table, you can see the transform of cos omega t. Cos omega t is s by s square plus omega square. So straightforward definition. Okay, so suppose it was, if it was 5 cos pi by t, pi pi t, what will be the answer? So it will simply be L of 5 cos pi t. You can take 5 outside, so it will be simply 5 into L of cos pi t. So it will be simply be 5 into s by s square plus pi square. So even then there also you can apply linearity property. So let me ask you one more question. Suppose your function was 3 cos pi t plus 2 sin pi t. So how will you do that? So in that also just think you can apply linearity property so that you can split it into 2. Okay, now you have 3 into L cos pi t plus 2 into L sin pi t. Now so you can give the definitions. So it will simply be 3s by s square plus pi square. You have to look at the table. Why I have to write this? Because the transform of cos pi t is s by s square plus pi square, and plus 2 into pi by s square plus pi square. So straightforward definition here. Okay, it's very simple thing. So similarly, one more question here. F of t is equal to a minus bt the whole square. So how will you do that? Just think. So how will you do this problem? Okay, just think how will you do it? So it's a very simple thing. What I will do is that I will do the basic instinct here. So what will I do? I'll just square it. So when I square, what will I get? I'll get just a square minus 2abt plus b square t square. Okay, so I need to find the transform of L of f of t. So it will I need to find the transform of this one. Now I know that L, A, B, etc. are constant. So it will be simply be I need to find L of A minus B t the whole square. That is same as L of A square minus 2ABT plus B square t square. We can apply linearity and split this. So it will be simply L of A square minus L of 2ABT. I have applied linearity there, plus L of B square t square. Okay, so there's no need to write it elaborately, but you can, I hope you understand this. Okay, so A square is a constant, so it is A square into L of 1, so transform that will be simply be 1 by S, because it is A square into 1, so transform of 1 is 1 by S, so it will be A square into 1 by S. Okay, minus, we can take 2AB outside. L of t, what is L of t? Again, it will be simply 1 by S square. Look at the table. Okay, plus B square into L of t square. What is L of t square? L of t square is 2 factorial by 2 t s cube. So it is 2 by s cube. So that is the answer. That is A square by S minus 2AB by S square plus 2B square by S cube. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, so moving on. So can you tell me how will you do this one? E raised to 2t into sin t. So I need to find L of e raised to 2t into sin t. So this is of the form in which is shifting the ring is applied. So your e raised to at is 2 there. Okay, so first I will find L of sin t. Now look at the table. What is L of sin t? It is simply 1 by s square minus 1, right? So because L of sin hat is a by s square minus a square. So using that approach, your a is here is 1, so it is simply 1 by s square minus 1. Okay, so when it is L of e raised to 2t, what will happen? Your s will be replaced by s minus a. So here it will be 1 by s minus 2 the whole square minus 1. You can simplify it. That is actually 1 by s square minus 4s plus 4 minus 1. So it is plus 3. Okay, so it's very straightforward calculation. Okay, now moving on to next problem. F of t is equal to 3 raised to t. So f of t is equal to 3 raised to t. How will you do that? Two ways are there. You can use the direct definition, or I am going to do a simple manipulation. Okay, so how will you, if you look at the table, what can I use here? So I know what's the formula for t raised to n and everything, but this is of the form 3 raised to t. What will we do here? So how can we do this problem? Okay, so can I write 3 raised to t in terms of e? Just think that. Can I write 3 raised to t in terms of e? Can I do that? Yes. How will you do it? I can write this as, this is same as e raised to log 3 raised to t, because you know that this will, the value of e raised to log x is simply x. So using that approach, I am using this as 3 raised to e is simply e raised to log 3 raised to t, right? So this is actually e raised to t log 3, right? Okay, now look at the table. Can you apply any formula here? What is that? The transform of e raised to at is 1 by s minus a. So what will be the transform of e raised to t log 3? It will simply be 1 by s minus log 3. Okay, so that is the answer. If you don't like this approach, you can also do it directly, but it will be really difficult. Okay, so moving forward, e raised to minus t cos h4t. I will not be doing that because you know how to do that. First we find transform of cos h4t. What is it? It is actually s square by, sorry, s by s square minus 16. Now you applied e raised to minus t. So here when it is e raised to 80, it will be replaced by 1 by s minus a. So when it is e raised to minus t, it will be replaced by 1 by s plus 1. So use that approach here, find it out. Okay, and again cos square omega t, how will you do it? Here also you can do it directly, or you can use a manipulation. So which manipulation comes to your mind first? Okay, so you know that cos square theta is 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2. Using that approach, cos square omega t you can write as 1 plus cos 2 omega t by 2. Okay, now can you find the value of this one? Yes. How will you do it? You can apply the linearity property. So it will be simply L of 1 plus L of cos 2 omega t. Now it is very straightforward calculation. L of 1 is 1 by s, 1 by 2 is outside there, plus L of cos 2 omega t is simply s by s square plus 4 omega square. Okay, so very straightforward thing. Only thing is calculation is done. So similarly, you can think of sine square omega t. Okay, so please find out the transform of sine square omega t using some result, so that those results all you can apply here. Okay, again one more question. Sine omega t plus theta. Here omega and theta are constants. What will you do? I need to find sine omega t plus theta. How will you find it? Okay, So we are going for the basic instinct. I am going to apply the direct definition. What is sine omega t plus theta? It is sine a plus b is sine a cos b plus cos a sine b, right? So what is it? Simply be sine omega t cos theta plus cos omega t sine theta, right? Okay, so you know that omega and theta are constants, remember here. So this sine omega t plus theta can be written as this. So in order to find to this, I need to find the value of this one. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, now how will I find it? So before we try to find it out, let us just mark out the constants here. So here theta is a constant, so can I say that cos theta and sin theta are constants here? Okay, so when I apply linearity property, can I take this cos theta outside? So cos, if I take it outside, it will be cos theta into L of sin omega t plus sin theta into L of cos omega t. Have you understood this? Why? Because this cos theta and sin theta are constants. So when you first apply this linearity property, this will come like this. So I can take this cos theta and sin theta outside. So this will be this one simply. Okay. Now it is very simple thing. How will you find it out? It simply will be cos theta into what is the transform of sin omega t? It will simply be omega by s square plus omega square plus sin theta into transform of this one is simply s by s square plus omega square. So straightforward answer. Okay, it's very clear. So moving forward, so these are the some elementary techniques where you have used the tables, and also there are some special problems are there, but I don't think these are required for exam, but I'll just give you an idea. You have to do it by yourself. Okay, sometimes they can give you some graphs. This is not important for examination point of view, but since I found it interesting, I'm just sharing it with you. Okay, suppose you are being asked to find the transform of this one. Okay, so here actually your f of t was not given to you, so you have to find f of t by looking into the picture. You have to try the equation of f of t. So you can see that this is the value of t. Okay, so what is the equation of that line? So you know 2 points are there. One is 1 0, other one is 0 1. So I hope you know how to write the equation of the line. So if you write it down, you can get that f of t is equal to simply 1 minus t. Okay, or if you have confusion, you can write it down in your Cartesian coordinates. So when you write the equation of this line, it will be simply be x plus y is equal to 1. So if you put x as t, you will get your y as simply 1 minus t. Okay, so that is how I write this one. Okay, similar this one I can write as f of t is simply k, where the period interval varies from 0 to c. Okay, I hope you can understand this equation. Similarly, can you write down this line equation of this line? You can see that the points are, this point is it is actually 0 1, and this point is 1 comma 1.5. I hope you can write the equation of the line in terms of x and y. Once you write the line in terms of x and y, put x is equal to t, you will get the value of y, and that y is your f of t. Okay, so please write down like that. So this is not important for examination point of view, but I hope you can write it down. Okay, and don't forget the intervals here. Okay, so in this problem you can see that your equation of the line is actually your f of t will be equal to t, where t varies from 0 to b. Okay, so if you write this line, actually it is actually y is equal to x, where x varies from 0 to b, rest everywhere it is 0. Okay, so you can use that definition there. So directly we will have to find it out. You can't use the table here because the functions are all piecewise defined functions. Okay, so these are some examples. So first, so in this examples, your f of t is not given to you directly, but you can try to find the equation of f of t from the graph. Okay, so one idea I've told you is that you can try to find the equation in terms of x and y. Then you put x is equal to t, and then you will get the value of y. That is your f of t. Okay, so please try to do these problems. So these are very interesting problems, but these are not important from the examination point of view. Okay, so moving forward, let us do some more problems. So, okay, so look at this. Please read this question. So they have already told you that your f of t is equal to f of s. Okay, so L of f of t is f of s. Then they have asked to show that L of sin HAT is equal to f of t. I will not do this problem. You will have to do it by yourself. But I can give you a hint. What is sin HAT? What is sin HAT? Sin HAT is simply e raised to at minus e raised to minus at by 2. If you know that, can you do this problem? Okay, so what is sin HAT into f of t? So sin HAT into f of t will be simply be this quantity, right? Okay, suppose I need to find L of this one. Okay, I need to find L of this. So what is it? It will be L of 1 by 2 is a constant. I can take it outside. So it will be L of e raised to at into f of t minus L of e raised to minus at into f of t. Okay, Now, what is L of f of t is f of s, so what is e raised to f of t into L of e raised to it in f of t? It will simply be f of s minus a, minus here it will be f of s plus a. So that is the result. Okay, so very simple thing. So if you understand definition of sin hat and linearity, you can do this. So similar problem would be there if I ask you what will be cos hat f of t. So just try to guess it out. It will be simply be 1 by 2 f of s minus a plus 1 by f of s plus a. Okay, so using that information, I can hope you can define the transform of s sin h2t and sin 3t. Just plug in these values here. Your a is 2, your f of t is actually sin 3t. Just plug in these values here. Just try to find it out. Or if they are asking you a standalone question on L of sin h2t and sin 3t, what will you do? You can straightforward use the same approach here. It will be simply be e raised to 2t minus e raised to minus 2t by 2 into sin 3t. Okay, so you need to find L of this. So it will be e raised to 2t into sin 3t minus e raised to minus 2t into sin 3t. 1 by 2 is the outside. You can directly use the definition there. So transform of sin 3t is 3 by s square plus 9. So when it is e raised to 2t, it will become 3 by s minus 2 the whole square plus 9. So you can use directly also without these results also. So there is no need to by heart these results. You can just try to understand the concept and try to complete these problems. Okay, similarly you can also find the value of cos h3t and cos 2t. Okay, I hope it is clear. And similarly, can you find transform of L of t, f of t is equal to t? Just think of some way to find the transform of t sin et. Okay, how will you find? So there are many methods are there. You can use many methods you can use. So we later on we will study the effect of multiplication by t later, but still can you use some method which you already know here? I haven't taught you product of transforms. So what will you do here in this problem? Okay, so if you remember the thing I told when you were trying to find transform of cos theta or sin theta like that, what was it? You can write cos theta is e raised to it theta plus e raised to minus I theta by 2, and sin theta is e raised to I theta minus e raised to minus I theta by 2y. If you remember that, you can use that approach here because you can use shifting theorem here. Okay, so your t sin t at can be written as t sin at can be written as t e raised to iat minus e raised to minus iat by 2y. Here I is a constant, so it will be simply be 1 by 2y into t e raised to iat minus t e raised to minus iat there. Okay, so when you apply transform, just try to do it yourselves. It will be simply be 1 by 2y into L of t is actually 1 by s square. So when I apply this e raised to it, it will become s minus ia. So it will be 1 by s minus ia the whole square minus again 1 by s plus ia the whole square. How is this result coming? This is coming from shifting theorem. Okay, so if you need to find L of t e raised to if you need to find L of t e raised to iat, what will it be? First you find L of t. L of t is 1 by s square. So when it is e raised to iat, it will become 1 by s minus ia the whole square. Okay, using that approach, you can also find L of t e raised to minus iat, and you can add, we can then just substitute those values there. Okay, so please compute them and try to simplify the answer. Okay, so I hope that is also clear. So these are some important problems where you can use this Laplace transform. Okay, so in the next problem session, I'll also be discussing the inverse Laplace transform. So that will also be a problem session itself. So there also you need to remember only the linearity property, shifting theorem, and also the corresponding tables. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Please try to complete all these problems by yourself. Okay, thank you.